Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for your support of Indie Agency News. Let's meet an indie agency. We're heading down to the Lone Star State and specifically Austin, Texas. Jacqueline and Micky from Bakery joining us. Look at this. Look at this.
Hey.
How's it going?
Good. And we're recording this fresh off of South by, so this will run a little bit later, but fresh off of South by. Is everyone recovered? I heard your party was through the roof awesome.
Yeah, I think we're still recovering a little bit from that. Yeah, that went a little crazier than we thought it would, but it was
and it was pain au chocolat, right? That was the theme.
Well,
yeah.
We pronounced it pain au chocolat because we had the Luchiadores there fighting, and they spilled out from the ring at the end of the day, and like we're fighting all around the party, and people were filming. It got a little. We didn't know that was coming, so we were kind of like, oh man, this is crazy.
Well,
I almost got tackled. So
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? You're from San Antonio. You can handle your business.
Yeah.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for joining us. And I want to start with this because and this is more of like appreciation. So when we started this thing and when I started this idea, Micky was one of the first people I reached out to. And there's like, oh, you should talk to Micky. He's super smart. Well, duh. But I just kept asking Micky, like, am I tracking okay on this? And so, Micky, this is more like public thanks for the early days of Indie Agency News. Whether you know it or not, the things that you told me have been super, super helpful, and I'm super grateful for it, and excited for you and Jacqueline and the rest of your team to help us grow this thing. So there's a little bit of a thank you. So I appreciate it, man.
Well, I'm glad it was helpful. No thanks necessary. It was always always cool to chat with you. So we were just chatting. So if there was some nuggets of gold there for you that have helped, obviously I'm thankful to help you as well. So
right on, man. Appreciate it. So let's start with this. We always start with this question. What would you say that Bakery is best known for? And you can give us a little bit of the background too, and when the agency started and a little bit of that, but then tell us what the agency in your mind is best known for.
Yeah, I would say, what we're best known for, I guess, depends on who you're asking, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that we definitely do differently and we do well is we don't just sell product for our clients, we actually make product with our clients a lot of times. So whether that's making a sneaker with Nike or making new whiskey with Diageo or anything like that, we actually it's the whole tagline of the agency is make things people want, and the emphasis is actually on things. Make things people want. We're I like to call it the MacGuffin here, kind of from film lore, always have the picture of the briefcase in Pulp Fiction. It's that item that kind of moves the plot along. And so we want to be the agency that makes the item that moves the plot along, right, for our clients. Like if you're Pepsi, what's going to be that next flavor or that next packaging or that next thing that might not even be soda at all, for example, that move the plot along for the business. And same thing for Nike, like what's our next technological move within sneakers, but also should people care about it? Why is it, why is it cool? Like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction, right? So I would say that's the main thing that our clients for sure know us for. I mean, they've gotten very used to that side of what we do. Outside of that, a lot of people are just like, I don't know. I've heard there's like a mystique or something about us. Like they don't know what the heck we're all about or whatever. And they just think we're weird and like we do weird, cool stuff. And and I, and I think, yeah, we are weird. But yeah. So it would depend on who you're asking. Yeah.
So, and you brought up a few points, and Jacqueline, I'll ask you this. So you'd mentioned, Pepsi, you've mentioned Diageo, and what's really interesting is that the you know, when I started in the business, if you had told somebody we want to redo your packaging, they'd be like, oh my God, that's going to take $1 million. Or we want to do a new product. It's like, oh no, the manufacturing process. So being able to accelerate those ideas, it's such a great playground. So Jacqueline, from your point of view as managing director and head of accounts, talk a little bit about how that manifests in the conversations that you have with clients, because I have to think that that it makes it so it's sitting in the middle between the client and the rest of the team at the agency. I mean, that's got to be a nice place to be now.
Yeah. Well, I feel like being here for 5 years, seeing a little bit of an evolution there. It started as a process where we had to really sell in almost product innovation and the value of it. It just didn't make sense for us to come in at the 60-yard line and try to take it to the goal. We wanted to be there from the beginning. So it was very much a little bit of a work in progress to begin with. But after seeing our design skills, after seeing all the packaging and innovation, strategic innovation that we could bring to the table, it became a very seamless and effortless conversation. So I think that after being sort of tried and tested and showing what we could do, allowed us to just do more of it. And then, people started seeking us out for just specifically that.
Right. So taking it a little bit, so you've talked a little bit about this, but what are some other core strengths that you believe that the agency has? Because we've talked about this, you talked about this first part, but what are maybe 2 or 3 more core strengths that you look at and go, you know what? Because agencies do a lot of different things and they do them very, very well. But when you start distilling down a little bit, it's like, you know what, actually these 3 things are what we're really great at. So what would you say maybe 2 or 3 of those things are?
Well, the big thing for us is never being confused by because right now, to be honest, it's a tough question to answer, and it always has been a tough question to answer. I remember telling Jacqueline, like, one of the first things that when we met, she was also asking me, interviewing for her job, like, what is it that you guys like? What's the one thing you guys do, right? And I told her I kind of hate that question and I hate that answer, because we were kind of just coming out of that specialization era where every agency needed to like be really good at this or that or whatever.
Right.
And I remember, I'm a big like streetwear guy and sneakerhead fan and all of that. And like, so I remember this quote by Ronnie Feig of Kith that I gave to Jacqueline, where it was, to paraphrase, he said something to the effect of like, that he hates it when people ask him like, where does he see the brand going, and which box it needs to fit in, because for him, he's like, well, those questions are always based on what people have done before, what's always been done, right? And we're trying to do something that maybe has never been done, and in those terms, it's actually kind of hard to just chart the path in a single sentence for somebody. So for me, like, we're trying to build an agency that is ideal for the many needs of like a modern brand. Right. So that includes you have to be in there from the beginning. We are a creative agency first and foremost. It is still what we are out there competing or trying to compete against, like, the agencies we grew up loving and idolizing, like White and Kennedy and all of that stuff. So we still want to be able to compete against those folks. But for us, we understand that today we just have to start the process a little earlier when it comes to product. Like, we can't just be there when a client's like, hey, this came off the assembly line.
Go. Right.
This came off the assembly line because it was expedient for us to make. We don't know if anyone wants it or not, but go sell it, right? We're like, why don't we go back? We have the tools, we have the ability right now to understand what people want a little bit more and track it with the production life cycle of what you make, and let's get there in a much more beneficial way. The other thing would be culture. I know that's a word that gets like bandied around a lot. I do think that the way the agency's been built, right, like, it's an immigrant founded agency, minority owned. It's always just had that DNA in it, but we've never been a Hispanic agency or a minority agency. We've always been general market. But you look at, our when Diageo, for example, made the big push to ask their agencies to diversify a lot and all that. We didn't have to do anything. You know, it was just like, nope, here are our numbers, you know them. And so I think it brings these fresh perspectives that what we like to do with culture is not to just like, you know, jump on the bandwagon of things, but like, how can we like prod and poke culture whenever we put something out there where it gets a response from people, whether it's positive, sometimes negative. I feel like if you're not pissing some people off, you probably didn't say anything at all. So, so I think that's part of like the things that we, if I had to put something out there, we're really good at. And then, you know, as a full service agency, we do that across the different disciplines for sure.
Right. Pissing people off. I get that. Jacqueline, why is being independent so important to the agency?
Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. I think that we only answer to ourselves and our clients, which is, I think, a very critical part of our culture and the environment that we're building. So having to answer to a holding company just changes things dramatically, and it's not who we are.
I like that. It's very succinct. Micky, anything to add to that?
I mean, it's pretty simple. I think like a lot of people get a little too poetic about it, but the truth is that the buck stops here with us too, you know, and it's more about like, what is our vision? What do we want to do? What does our team want to do? We honestly lead by committee, not, I would say not in a negative way. Let's say we lead by town hall. You know, where we
town hall. Oh my God, that's good.
We like to talk to our team about like what brands are we pitching? What should we do this to the office? Should we, you know, et cetera. Like we talk to our team so much about everything that I feel like if we weren't independent, I can't see a world where that can continue, right? Because you know, it would, at some point it becomes performative because you have this other group that actually has the final say on a lot of things. And that's not to say that there aren't great companies and great agencies that are part of holding companies. I mean, look at what Mischief's done and all of that, and they're just, you know, killing it out there. So I think that model is also evolving in front of our eyes right now, out of necessity, to be honest. And so I don't want to just, I don't want to make the mistake of feeling comfortable because we're independent and like, oh, don't worry, the holding companies aren't going to be able to catch up with us because of that now. No. I think they will. I think they'll get smart about it, and that's, I think, better for the entire industry. But for now, yeah, the succinct answer that Jacqueline gave is right. You know,
you made much less succinct. I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Dude. You're exactly right. Yeah,
I'm just playing, dude. I'm just playing. You've touched on like a ton of reasons why a brand should work with you. Outside of what you said and what you've outlined, what's another reason that a brand should work with Bakery?
I think we're fun to work with. I think we have very long-standing relationships with our clients, and one thing that I think is just missing out of a lot of relationships is just having fun and doing great work. Really partnering with the brand to make things people want, which is our tagline. I think that too often, as you even started this interview, fun is overlooked. So make sure you're having fun in the process.
Right. One of the things that I've said before, and I will keep saying it again, is, and for all you marketers and CMOs out there, working with your agency should be the very best part of your job. That should be the part of your job that you love more than anything. Yeah. So I'm just saying. Let's talk a bit about talent. Why should talent be putting Bakery on their list? Well,
part of the reason I actually joined Bakery was I had a conversation with Micky early on, and we're really all about the work. It's really not about anything else. I came here and I've always dealt with some office politics and processes and stuff like that. And it really comes down to, we don't say we're no ego, but we're low ego. Everyone here is just ready to throw down and make the best work possible. And it's not really muddied with all the other things you find at a lot of companies. So really appreciative of that, and thankful for that too.
Yeah. Micky?
Yeah, I would say we don't put too much. I mean, we, of course, as any business should have, we have our processes and our methods and things like that, but they really are not the thing that drives us. The work is what drives us, and we understand that that sort of controlled chaos needs to be part of any group that's making work that's worth even looking at, or interrupting your day for. So yeah, like the institutional systems and the processes, all that stuff, like, even like, things like client appeasement is not really something that we pay too much. Some, if they hired us, they hired us for who we are, and we're going to show them who we are, right? And so it's not about just becoming a yes man, 6 months down the line into the relationship. And so I think that for talent, we tend to be a place that really sticks to that, and they find refreshing, which, I wish it wouldn't be that as refreshing. It should be the way that we're all doing things, right? We're all supposed to be experts at what we do, and they're hiring us for it. So yeah, give them the goods, and that's it.
Throw down, give them the goods. I got so many quotes. This is like quote gold right now. Thought experiment to wrap up. Whether it's an existing client or one that you'd like to work with, what CMO or marketer do you want to say hi to?
I mean, I'd like to say hi to all of our existing clients. Honestly, like we have great, like this is the one thing I'm like so happy about, is like we have great client relationships, and so I really enjoy everybody. I mean, just yesterday, I'm not going to put our business out there, but the fact that, like, we're not actively right now working with PepsiCo. We're doing some stuff for Cheetos on the Frito-Lay side, but something went awry on a project that we needed to do with Pepsi, through no fault of Pepsi's at all. And I Todd Kaplan, who's a CMO over there, he just called me, and he just called me, took time out of his day to call me to just say, hey man, really sorry that this one didn't work out. Let's work towards the next one, and just want to make sure that you're cool and all that stuff. We're like a small indie agency. I'm an immigrant. I'm still getting used to this whole thing. And like, you have the CMO of Pepsi that's calling you to make sure that you're cool, that that you're feeling okay. And look, I've been on the other side of this, where you have people that expect you to essentially be, an indentured, servant to them just because you signed a contract. There are great marketers out there right now, and we work with a lot of the some of the best of them. And Todd's a gentleman. I love working with him. I can tell you also, like, beyond that, the more inspiring stuff past marketers is some of the other leaders that are coming out of the agency world right now, the indie and small agency world. The Greg Hans, the Kristen Cavallos of the world, who she's been a mentor to me as well, and very sad to see that she's retiring.
No, that makes her indie, dude.
I know.
Makes her officially indie.
So, but I think like those are also our folks that are. I don't know. I'm very excited for the future right now, Doug, and I assume you are too. You started indie, this whole channel, so I assume you're seeing it as well.
I am.
It's just an exciting time, because it feels like the good parts of the old school are kind of bubbling to the surface a little bit right now, and that sort of blind 10-year, 15-year sprint that we did with the programmatic digital realm that like killed everything is starting to leave us a bit, and it's exciting.
Yep. Jacqueline, CMO or marketer you want to say hi to?
Oh man, well, I think I just reiterate Micky's comments. I love our CMOs. I love our clients. So definitely shout out to them. I think that just on, some brand side, and the ones that I haven't gotten to meet as well yet. Fernando Machado,
Oh yeah.
Stephen King, would love to have a conversation with you guys.
Who was the second one? I interrupted you.
The CMO of EOS.
Oh, EOS. Yeah. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I heard King, and then I was like, I think I stepped on you. Thank you, audio. Thank you, audio. All right. So one bonus question here. Where's the best food in Texas? Because I've heard San Antonio.
You're talking about tacos.
I'm just talking in general. I'm talking in general. It like
you're gonna get us. You're gonna get us in trouble, man, because we live in Austin, and you know, so yeah, tacos, San Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Barbecue
San Antonio,
Austin.
Barbecue Austin for sure.
So,
yeah.
All right. So we were diplomatic about that.
Yeah.
We're going to be very diplomatic here. This is going to be fighting words if we really come out.
You guys get all frisky on the other stuff, but when it comes to food in Texas, you're like, oh god. All right.
No comment.
Yeah.
No
right.
comment on that.
We're gonna clam up about that. Oh my god, so good, so good. Well, Jacqueline, Micky, first off, thank you so much for your support of Indie Agency News. It means a lot to us, and best wishes for continued success. And we'll see you in Austin sooner than later. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I hope
Amazing.
so.
Thank you, Doug.